So good afternoon, everybody. This is Chris with the Utah Meditation Center, and today I received an email from a meditator, and I want to read you just a little bit and paraphrase a little bit more about a couple of points of practice that I think are pretty universal. Certainly I've encountered these issues, and I know that many other long-time meditators have too. So let me give you an idea of what's happening here, and I'll see if I'll do what I can to address it. And if it's relevant to you, feel free to bring it into your life. So sometimes while sitting, I think I'm thinking about feeling sensation in my body instead of actually feeling sensation in my body, or thinking about being present rather than actually being present. Any suggestions? When we work with our mind, there are a couple of realms that we work in, and one of these realms we could call the psychological, and another realm we could call the spiritual. And it's important as we meditate, especially as we increase our meditation, to discern between the two. When am I doing something psychological, i.e., when am I swinging from thought to thought, from the branch to branch of my thoughts? And when am I doing something spiritual? When am I transcending my thoughts and my emotions and my sense of self? And a lot of the times what can happen is when we're sitting for a while, we can kind of get up into this airy realm of our mind and think we're actually doing the work, and we're not. That's why it's important to maintain some degree of contact with somebody who's been doing this a little bit longer than you have. So you can end up for a decade or longer thinking that you're making progress, and you're not. So one helpful suggestion, one thing that can be very helpful for this, to keep it real, if you will, is to maintain contact with the body. All right? So, in other words, let's say I'm up in my mind and I'm meditating, and I've defined myself as a person who is meditating. Okay? So I'm conscious about this action that I'm doing. And when I'm conscious about this action that I'm doing, there's some separation. There's a me, and then there's an activity. Okay? There is a meditator, and then there's the act of meditation. And in that, there's a little bit of what we could call conceit. Okay? Or pretense. I'm pretending that I'm separate from my meditation. And that pretense is really the heart of our practice. What we're doing is we're getting to the root of this arbitrary separation between myself and the environment, both in the intrapersonal realm, okay, inside of my thoughts and my emotions, and also in the interpersonal realm, okay, or in the world at large, what we call the outside world. Okay? These separations that you have made, this sense of separation, is actually something that's arbitrary. You've made it in your mind. So, keeping it real means keeping it down in the body. Okay? So I move down into my heart, exactly as it's manifesting right here, right now. I feel this closing, and I feel this opening. I feel a sense of pulsing and moving and twisting and turning and all the many things that go on in my chest. And as I pay attention to it, what happens is this arbitrary boundary dissolves of itself. Okay? And there's no longer a meditator and somebody who's meditating. In other words, the conceit goes away, the pretense goes away. You're no longer holding, you're no longer maintaining airs. You simply are. And that comes from examining in a very detailed way. Right? You can imagine the amount of attention that, oh, I don't know, a medical professional, for example, like a surgeon, would give to, hopefully, would give to their work when they're engaged in the process of working on your heart or working on your brain. And I would say that I would say that there's really, and I've never been a heart surgeon or a brain surgeon, but I would say that the idea of that quality of attention can give you some idea of the qualities that are important to bring to this practice. So we locate any place in the body that feels like it's a congenial place to live, okay? And what I mean by this is, don't pick some place that there's a lot of terribleness going on, especially at the beginning. Pick a spot that feels good in your body. And when you find that spot, feel into it. Be very detailed and see if you can maintain your awareness there all the way through the in-breath and all the way through the out-breath. And then if I notice that, the quicker that I can notice that I've lost contact with that base, with that very basic sensation of my body, that's when I know I'm engaging in speculation. Okay? So I'm thinking about action. I've separated myself from the essential facts of my experience. So we move down into the body again and see if we can take one true breath, maintaining contact all the way through the in-breath with this part of the body, where that's literally bringing mind and body together. That's why it's called mind-body awareness. Okay? Bring our mind and our body together. Unifying the mind and the body. And the mind and the body actually are already unified. You don't have to worry about that. The perception of your mind and body being unified takes place of itself when you follow simple steps, and when you engage in certain awareness activities, these boundaries break down. This conceit or these pretenses, it breaks down. So you don't have to worry about the effects. You don't have to try and tear them down. They come down of themselves when you see correctly. It's that line from the Matrix, right? You don't have to, you can't bend the spoon. Okay, the spoon, that's impossible to bend the spoon. So your point of intervention here is looking at how there's no essential reality to the spoon. So you're not buying the lie anymore. So that's the correlate to that in our practice is to examine these boundaries, okay, or these spoons, if you will, these things that seem hardened in our awareness, to examine them very carefully. Don't try to bend them, you'll just hurt your hands. You examine them very carefully, and in that breaks down. But it is a bringing of the mind and the body absolutely together in a very real way. This is something in a very real way that we're doing. And just like any other skill that's worthwhile, it takes time. So, whatever skills you have built in the past, take those same qualities that helped you to develop those skills, patience, perseverance, determination, this kind of business, and move those, take those into your practice here. You're not going to learn how to juggle in 15 minutes, okay, if you don't know how to juggle and if you're not a savant. Okay? So if you want to learn how to juggle, if you want to learn how to work with your mind, be aware of the fact that it's going to take some time, and then return again and again and again and again to it. And that returning again and again, all the skills that you need to develop to become a good meditator are all the skills that are going to help you in your job. Okay? Get all the skills that are going to help you in your relationships. Right? Employers love people who are determined, who are persistent, who can both take feedback and also think for themselves. Spouses love people who are patient, who are aware, who are, again, able to take feedback, who are able to, right, give as well as receive. So it's a lot here. Take what makes sense to you, bring it into your life, apply it practically, and let me know how it works. Let me know how it works in your life, the results, the real results that it has in your life. Thank you very much. Have a great day.